Hey, yo, man. Hell yeah, it is. Monday, November 22nd, 2021. And we out this piece. Today is our final show of November. I think our first day back is December 6th. We're going to Maui and you're not.
Deal with it.
Suck it. Yeah, we're really excited. We will be hitting the Delta Jetway after the show. Well, tomorrow, technically. And we got to talk about bringing the little Nintendo Switch with us, which I picked up yesterday.
Yeah, you've had it for like 7 hours, and it's amazing.
I'm already a Mario Kart champion.
And stuff.
Yeah. By the way, we got to talk about retail shopping as well.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
Yeah, I'm not ever doing that again. I will never, in all seriousness, I will never spend time with the Great Unwashed again.
You went to Walmart to get that? Are you, dude? You could have
Yeah,
died.
How about you, bro?
Bro, you could have died.
How about you yesterday morning? You're like, yeah, I got to get a travel shave kit. And Mrs. Mach is like, well, there's a Walmart right there. No, I don't go in there. I don't go in there. You refuse
I'm not
to go
doing
into
it.
Walmart.
I'm not doing it.
Which I thought was amazing. I was proud of you for that. We'll get to all of that machinations and stuff. We'll talk Walmart. Best Buy is where I went yesterday for the final time ever. We got to talk Jazz. Rudy Gobert. You saw it with Lebron last night. Punching a guy in the face like, the cheap shot, not ever going to be Jordan kind of guy that he is.
Right.
I'm not sure what one has to do with the other.
It's just fun to kind
of,
of,
Yeah, poke the bear. We'll talk some Jazz coming up as well as BYU. But you're darn right, the lead is the Utah Utes taking out the Pac-12 leading Oregon Ducks. And what really, frankly, if we're being honest, it went exactly to plan. Other than the fact that, Oregon never got off the bus offensively. But you know what, Jake? I felt like this was the exact performance that the Utah Utes needed. And the only thing I fear is a letdown this week.
Yeah, I thought it was true domination. I thought it was, everything that you would want out of this Utah team. You have a team who has fought through so much this year. And we talked all about on Friday how they had, they still had a lot to play for and they had a point to prove in this game. And I just felt like they came out and they just kicked Oregon's ass. I mean, for lack of a better description, like that, they just took it to them. And I think that you can never put a price or you can never measure just how much want to a team has and how that'll affect the game. And I just felt like Utah wanted it way more than Oregon. And I was really surprised, just like how long Oregon went without scoring. I mean, you never expect, a team like Oregon to get blanked in the first half. That is like, I was just impressed. I was just like, man, this Utah team is on point. And that's why I want to keep saying, like, I really do believe that this is, one of, if it's not the best, it's easily one of the best coaching jobs Kyle Whittingham has ever done. I mean, you want to talk about, like, perfect example, you call a timeout right before the half to get Britton Covey an opportunity, and what does he do with it? That as a coach, you're not guaranteed anything there, but just the fact that you were ready and prepared to call a timeout there is brilliant. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. And I just think that Kyle Whittingham, no matter what happens after the year, deserves a lot of credit for what he's been able to do with this team. Because they have seen some some crazy adversity and have just powered through it.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that really stands out to you is the leadership on this football team for Utah, the character, and so many teams talk about it. Oh, we're leaders, we're character, we're family, we're all in one thing, and so few teams do that. And what you saw Saturday afternoon was an absolute ass kicking. And you saw that from a football team in the Utah Utes that I think absolutely had a plan and they executed it. And it is no accident that Britton Covey was in the middle of that. It was no accident that Cam Rising delivered exactly what he needed to deliver, because that's what he's done ever since, the noodle arm quarterback quit. All Cam Rising's done is step up and lead this team and deliver the football. And I think it's no coincidence that this is the kind of game where Kyle Whittingham became the winningest coach in the history of Utah football on the eve of his 62nd birthday, with so many rumors of his retirement swirling around. This is perhaps the greatest regular season conference victory in the history of Utah football. And it was a dominant performance.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that really stands out to you is you've done what you needed to do to rebound this season, but your business is not done. And I think when you look at where Utah is, frankly, that you're 7-1 at this point of the year, if we'd have told you you'd be 8-3, 7-1 champions of the South, heading for the Pac-12 championship game, you'd have taken that. But in no way was this at all easy. In no way was this guaranteed. They won the South because they earned every single win that they have, week in and week out. And Jake, I think that speaks to the character and the culture that Kyle Whittingham has built at Utah.
Yeah, and I think that he deserves all the credit in the world for that. And I think that same character, and discipline in the program is what has allowed this team to continue to move forward. And that's the biggest thing. It's not that Utah is the best team in the country or anything like that. It's just more about the fact that you have all this adversity early in the year, and at one point on this show there was conversations in the comments section about how Witt was going to be done, and that this is it, and this is is Witt going to get fired, and that was never the case, and I think it just took them time, and I still go back to the timing of the bye week, because of when they had the bye week. I really feel like it couldn't have been timed any more perfectly, because you get that bye week, you get 2 weeks off basically, and you come out and now you've just run the table. And it just, I will continue to say, it is impressive. And I think that, guys like Cam Rising, the Brenkeys of the world, like, Britton Covey, obviously, like the leadership on this team, Devin Lloyd, those guys, that group of guys are just, are doing a great job. And I think that the next thing for Utah just would be, in the championship game, can you do it again? Because that's what's going to happen, in the championship game, can you do it again? And I would love to see them go out and do that.
That's a tall order.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be easy, but nothing Utah's done this year is easy. You tend to look back on your season in moments like this, and I'm telling you, it's a huge mistake. Like, you have accomplished nothing that you set out to accomplish this year. Like, you have not achieved any of your goals. This is a nice win, but frankly, this is why you play football. You've got a 2:00 kickoff. Coming up in 4 days. And at 2:00 Friday against Colorado, you need to handle your business. That's the only thing that matters. Who, when, where, what. For the Pac-12 championship, who cares? For the Rose Bowl, who cares? Because you got to beat Colorado first. And I think the most dangerous thing standing between Utah and a Pac-12 championship is Colorado. And, hey, once you win that game, all right, now you can look ahead a little bit. But nothing is certain, but, man, it feels good if you're a Utah fan this morning. Because I think part of the story for Utah this year, certainly.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
I'm cracking my Monster open. It's Monday, bro.
Okay.
I need some caffeine.
Okay, keep your pants zippered.
I'm wearing Nike men's yoga pants, so I don't have a zipper.
The point is, how difficult is it to open the Monster before the show?
I was trying to be considerate while you were talking. It's not my fault our mics are sensitive, okay?
Anyway, the point... See, I think you just don't respect that I will punch you in the face. No, I know. Look, fatty.
Whatever, LeBron.
Exactly.
It's fine.
I will hammer fist you in the eye. Anyway, the point is
that
I just don't think the Utes have accomplished much yet. You've had a great season. You got to beat Colorado.
I mean, they haven't won bowl games or made, like, huge movement, but I don't know. I guess in a sense I disagree, just because I think, this team went from being dead, basically, to being season's over, like, we're not going to do anything this year.
No, but see, they did not.
They did, though, dude. They did, man.
I think, and this is the problem, Utah fans are irrational. And as much as we talk BYU and Utah on this show, the one thing you're never going to say about BYU fans is they're irrational. Utah fans are emotional. They're irrational. Oh, the season's over. We lost to San Diego State before we ever played a conference game. Pack it up. We're out of here.
Well,
and it's like, guy, you have everything to play for in front of you.
Whatever.
You have, everything. You've lost nothing. I cannot tell you how many Utah fans I tweeted at and tweeted with saying, hey, you've lost nothing. Everything you've won. I think I even said that on the show. You've lost absolutely nothing. Everything you want is right here in front of you.
yeah, well, it didn't feel that way.
Well,
It didn't
actually,
feel
it
that
did.
way. I disagree. Somebody, Aaron Lowe died, right? You had that tragedy. Then, you had some losses that you didn't think you'd have. Like, the program was going in the wrong direction. It just, the feel of the season at that time was not a good one. It was not, and you had quitter quarterback. Like, this team was dealing with a lot, So I don't think that, I don't think it's, I don't know, man. I guess we just view that differently, It's not just that you lost to San Diego State and that's why your season was over. It was that. It was quitter quarterback. It was someone had died. Like, it was a lot of different things. And that's why I feel like the season was kind of doom and gloom.
Yeah, I never looked at it that way.
Well,
I never felt that way. I just think, and I encourage you to go back. Go back and listen to the shows. Go back to the weekend, the Monday morning after San Diego State. And I straight up said, nothing's been lost. You have everything to play for in front of you. Because you knew you were in a mediocre Pac-12 South. You were not going to have to run the table, even though you did. You were not going to have to run the table. Your one loss in conference didn't end anything, right? You were still probably going to win the South. Like, it just shows you that you have to take your emotions out of it. Like the Aaron Lowe situation, the Ty Jordan situation, that's completely different. That is a conversation that's on a different level. But when it comes to wins and losses and what's in front of you on the football field, you got to take your emotions out of it, right? And you have a job to do. And we're about to talk about BYU here in a minute. BYU didn't do their job the last 2 weeks, the last 2 games.
yeah.
The last 3 weeks, technically, in the last 2 games. BYU didn't do their job. Utah did. That's why Utah's likely going to the Rose Bowl. That's why Utah is likely going to win a Pac-12 championship, because they're just the best team in the conference. And to me, I think you've always been that.
Mm-hmm.
You've always been that. I don't think I ever wavered on the fact that I thought they would beat Oregon at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm perfect. I know everything.
Yeah, man. I think that I think that I disagree that the Ty Jordan, Aaron Lowe situations don't apply on, they
I
don't
didn't
translate.
say they don't apply.
Well, what did you say then?
What I said is they're completely different.
Right,
You
but they
handle
still-
those things differently. And things like, Aaron Lowe motivate you. Those things give you something to play for.
Right, but there's a point where you have to turn it into motivation that we can't just skip over. I'm telling you, we can't just be like, oh, well, that's what motivated this team. Those kids were crying. The coach was crying. Like this team was in depression, dude. You have to, we can't skip that.
I'm not skipping it. I'm telling you it was a vital part of the season. And what I'm telling you is that when you have the leadership on the caliber and quality of a guy like Kyle Whittingham sitting at the top of the totem pole for Utah football, and you look down to the leadership of a guy like a Cam Rising, not quitting, not rolling over, not giving up on his season after he didn't win the starting job. You have a guy like Britton Covey who's been in the program for 17 seasons now. When you have those guys around, you have Devin Lloyd, and Devin Lloyd leads by performance. Listen, this, to me, things have played out exactly as they were scripted. And you've had to go off script a couple of times. Aaron Lowe for 3 weeks was part of that. But when you have the quality of humanity that Utah has, that's always going to be spun on its head, and you are going to use that for fire and for fuel. Mm-hmm. And I think they did a wonderful job of that. And I think if you asked Aaron Lowe's family, they're incredibly proud of the motivation and the inspiration that tragedy provided to this football team.
Yeah.
Because it could have easily, with a different coach or any other coach, I think it could have easily crushed this team. Without question.
Agree completely.
It could have easily crushed this team. All right. Let's get some comments. Tanner Plummer says, great win by the Utes, sloppy performance by BYU, and a great performance by my Eagles. Nobody cares about the
You
Eagles.
just can't help yourself. You got to bring up the damn Eagles.
Nobody cares. Jalen Hurts is a terrible quarterback. The Chicago Bears are superior.
Obviously.
Avi. Speaking of ridiculous fandom. The Blind Sportsman says, morning, boys. The Jazz might be figuring it out. BYU didn't try to win, and the Fakers are what I thought they were, like the Bears. Well, thanks, Swordsman. Appreciate that. Cody Strickland says, good morning, guys. I'm going to sleep. I'll listen later. Just want to wish you guys the best trip to be safe. Go Jazz. Thanks, Cody. Appreciate that, bud. James Knight says, too much football gibber. Get to the NBA. Well, I mean, this is your show, James. So
yeah, it's the James show.
It is. Spencer Morgan, good morning to you. He says, the Utes have clinched the South and will have their best conference record. LOL, BYU fans are definitely irrational. The pandering to BYU fans has hit peak level for the Monty show today. Like, how are we pandering to BYU fans today?
How have we just spent, what did we just spend?
Yeah.
20 minutes?
Spencer says, Utah clinches the South and blows out the number 3 team. Monty show rolls out with a BYU graphic for the stream.
Okay, and what's your point?
Oh, yeah, and you mean what? He was on me on Twitter. He's like, and I don't want to see a BYU thumbnail.
Well, here's the deal.
First of all, I don't make the thumbnails. Go
All
ahead.
gas.
Let me
no
ISO
break.
you up there. Go ahead.
What's up, bud? How we doing? I mean, let me roll it out. At the end of the day,
It's a business decision.
it is a business decision, and whether you like it or not, Ute fan, BYU
Okay,
fan
here we go.
is more out and about than Ute fan is most of the time. So, yeah, it is a business decision. However,
Look, I wanted a Utah thumbnail.
no, you didn't. No,
I
you
wanted
didn't.
a Utah thumbnail celebrating Kyle Whittingham as the greatest
No,
coach
you didn't.
in the history of college football. I actually asked for a Ron McBride thumbnail. I was declined.
And then I was going to make a Jacob Conover thumbnail, but then he said that was too far.
And then I put a card on file after I was declined the first time.
Yeah.
And I asked for an Urban Meyer, TCU thumbnail. I didn't get that either.
Mhm.
And so then I threw a Hail Mary up and asked for a Scott Mitchell unrivaled thumbnail.
I really don't care if you think it's sus.
And he said nobody will ever listen to the show if it's called unrivaled. So, probably too far. Anyway,
Facts.
Spencer, my point is, good to see you. I appreciate you being here.
Good talk. Good talk.
Tanner says that's not true, Monty. We're BYU fans. We BYU fans can be super irrational at times. But BYU fans, you just tend to be victims. Okay, like sure, it's irrational victimization of oneself. Like you need your own self-policed SVU unit for the way you victimize yourself. But like Utah fan, I mean, there is no irrational like Utah fan. I mean, before fall camp even opens, they park their car at the edge of the cliff. And then the first snap of fall camp, like they're doing a burnout. They're just like, season's over, incomplete pass, drive over the cliff. It's over. Relax. Uncle Monty's gotcha.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Well said.
And then there's BYU.
All right, let's move on.
So BYU had a nice season, and it's over now.
Vexes me.
I mean, we showed tremendous sportsmanship on BYU radio. We showed tremendous sportsmanship, and we're proud of the young men and the things that they accomplished this season. But it's over. And I know that I'm the only one who thinks this way. And, a guy on Twitter on Sunday morning, I think it was, or maybe it was Friday, I don't know. Sometime in the last few days called me a sinner. And because I said that sportsmanship is not as important as getting to a New Year's 6 Bowl.
God bless.
And you know what? Listen. You can't tell me that this performance out of BYU against Georgia Southern was good enough. You scored 34 points. Neat. That's cool, man. Enjoy the Independence Bowl. Seriously. Enjoy the Independence Bowl. Oh wait, your bowl game is next weekend against USC. Good luck. Like I am incredibly disappointed in BYU this morning, and excuse me, the last 2 games, taking your foot off the gas, allowing Georgia Southern to disrespect you. I mean, he knocked your helmet off, so just keep taking these. Just keep taking these. Repeatedly during that game, Georgia Southern took physical shots, took physical liberties with BYU, and you're still kneeling down.
Yeah.
At some point, okay, fine, throw out the fact that you're trying to impress a committee of people who use their opinions, not facts, to, gain a spot in one of the most prestigious bowls in college football, earn yourself a recruiting feather, earn yourself a big payday, put yourself on TV, give your fans a place to, a destination to travel to.
Mm-hmm.
Throw all that out. You've got to prove a point that you are not to be trifled with, that you're not just going to lay down and let people punch you in the face and rip your helmet off, which you did. It was an incredibly disappointing performance. And I know that hey, we doubled them up. We won 34-17. Not nearly enough. And as far as the too nice thing goes, Kalani's too nice.
Yeah.
Kalani is too nice. I am not the guy who wants to make friends. I want to win national championships. And Kalani Sitake showed me the last 3 weeks he's too nice. And that's really unfortunate. I think the guy is a tremendous football coach. I think BYU's had a tremendous season. And they've left a lot of meat on the bone here. They should be going to a NY6 Bowl. You're 13th in the AP poll. You moved up a spot. But I have no hopes for this college football playoff ranking. Even though Michigan State, exactly what we because I know everything. I'm perfect.
We get it.
As we told you, yeah, thank you.
Shout out to Mo Bamba.
I mean, yeah. I mean, ask Mo Bamba. He knows.
Yeah.
But as we told you, you knew Michigan State was going to get absolutely bamboozled by Ohio State.
Yeah.
They got crushed. You had a chance to move up there. My guess is Michigan State will still be ranked ahead of you. I'm incredibly frustrated by it.
Yeah, my biggest thing was, the disrespect portion that you were saying. Like, how do you allow a team to do what they did? How do you allow a team to take the help, like hit you, like it just was dirty. It was dirty, and I don't understand why. I would love for BYU fan to explain to me why you have to be nice. We're not playing chess here. We're playing tackle football. We're not, it's just amazing to me. It's amazing to me. The contrast between these two programs is amazing. In this Oregon game for Utah had one mission, and that was to end Oregon. That was to come out, dominate this team, and send a clear message that Pac-12 championship game is going to be insane. On the other hand, you have BYU who, goes to Georgia Southern, and for whatever reason, just, in my opinion, you didn't really show up. You put up 34 points, but you didn't really show up. You didn't put up at least 50. To me, that's the minimum on a team like that. 50 is the minimum. I'd have loved to seen 60, 65. Honestly, that's what I would have loved to have seen this weekend out of BYU. But I don't know. We'll see, man. I just think that the opportunity is being lost. For the first time in how long do you have an opportunity to get into a NY6 Bowl, to add that to the recruiting game, to do all these great things that you've never really had access to in the last however long? And you want to be nice, and you don't want to run up the score.
0 sacks, 0 pass defended, only 6 tackles for loss against an inferior Georgia Southern team. It's frustrating. It was frustrating to watch. Honestly. It's one of those things where you realize that winning games at this level is not enough when you're an independent. And maybe it's just, hey, we're just trying to make friends, and maybe it is just about, being a nice guy. But if you're going to punch me in the face, I'm going to knock your head off.
Yeah.
If you didn't take cues from the Nakua brothers out there defending themselves, I don't understand how you let that happen at the end of the game. I really don't. I mean, he ripped your helmet off. Anyway, and now you have USC left. And you're going to face an old friend in Jackson Dart. That's at the Coliseum on Saturday. I mean, it's a great game.
Big game.
I have probably 5-6 USC alumni who are friends, and all of them are like, yeah, can't wait to see Kalani in person. Like they're all hearing about it.
Yep.
They're all hearing
This
about
is
it.
This is a big game for so many different reasons. I mean, obviously BYU season, obviously the Kalani coaching carousel, if you will. I think, and you can get deeper into the whole thing, but I just think that this USC game, I'm not going to say that the opportunity for BYU to beat USC has been like tainted now or something, but I do feel like because you didn't handle your business against Georgia Southern, it's not as impactful. If you would have run up 60 on Georgia Southern and then run up another 35.
You had a chance to have 3 straight 60-point games.
Yeah.
And this is why I say, like, a bunch of people on Twitter were like, oh, we lost it after the Baylor game. Well, actually, you didn't because you're 13th.
Yeah, I mean, the committee's not telling you did.
You're 13th.
Yeah.
And, like Oklahoma's right in front of you. They have Bedlam this weekend. Oklahoma State. You knew Michigan State was going to lose that game. Right? I mean, like, this is not – look at how far Oregon fell. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, if you just scored 66, 64, put up 59, 60 points after a bye week where you didn't fall at all.
Send a message.
Like, and this is the other thing. Everybody telling me I don't know what I'm talking about, and everybody said BYU was going to plummet after the bye week. I told you they weren't going anywhere. The committee values BYU. There's no question about that. They know that they've had bowl game attendance issues. They know they've had bowl game ratings issues. They know that Capital One Bowl Week on ESPN has had some ratings fluctuation. You put BYU in a bowl game, you're going to get 50,000 BYU fans. You're going to get 2 million people watching on TV.
Yep.
They value BYU. BYU's a good story. And then you came out and played Mr. Nice Guy. So the idea that the New Year's 6 bowls have been gone for, since the Baylor game, I got news for you. That's just not the case. You're 13th. You're 13th. How many times can I say that? You're 13th. You're 13th. And you're telling me the New Year's 6 bowls. By the way, those are 6 games with 2 teams. Get into the top 10 and you're a lock. You're 13th. What if you go and you run USC? So, by the way, are we going to be nice against USC as well? Because USC is terrible right now. Let's say BYU's up 24-0 at the half.
No.
Well, time for Jacob Conover. No, it's not. It's time to put up 60 on USC. You have to do that. Now, frankly, with their caliber of athlete, you're probably not doing that. Just on athletic ability alone. I mean, you're not the athletes that UCLA is. What do you do? UCLA scored 66 or whatever.
Yeah.
You're not putting that up on USC. You don't have that caliber of athlete. But there's no reason you can't score 45 on USC.
Yeah.
There's no reason. They're injured on offense. Their top wide receiver, their top running back, their best offensive lineman.
Yep.
Both their quarterbacks are dinged up. There's no reason you shouldn't go to USC and dominate. And by the way, if you do that, I'm telling you, you had a chance. You had a chance, and it feels like all that's lost. It feels like all of that is lost, and that BYU's going to the Independence Bowl. Now it feels like you've decelerated. It's crazy to me
frustrating
that so many BYU fans are like, oh, it was over after the Boise game. It was over after the Baylor game. No, it wasn't. It was not. I'm not talking about getting into the college football playoff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about getting into a New Year's 6 bowl. Let everything else fall where it may at that point. There's no reason you can't play in a New Year's 6 bowl. No reason at all. All you had to do was prove your point. And if Michigan State has shown you anything, it's that the committee, which we already knew, right? The College Football Playoff Committee uses their opinion. They use what happens on the field. They're openly talking about it. And the Michigan State-Michigan thing, the Oklahoma thing, the Cincinnati thing, the fact that now, by the way, if you look at what happened in the AP poll, anybody see that Alabama won against Arkansas and they fell a spot? So tell me again that conjecture and opinion, do you think just an average everyday win? We just got to win, fellas. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Every game's about proving a point. And Alabama we watched most of that game. Alabama looked lackluster against Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
Won the game, and they fell.
Funny how that works.
Because it's opinion.
Not rocket science.
So when this comes out tomorrow, anybody who doesn't believe that Ohio State's going to be number 2 tomorrow in the college football playoff. Ohio State's going to be number 2 tomorrow. No doubt about it. I mean, it will be Georgia. 11-0 Georgia 1, Ohio State 2, Alabama, roll tide 3. My guess is Cincinnati 4 and Notre Dame 5. That'd be my guess. Now, Michigan or Oklahoma State?
Yeah. That's where the committee comes in.
Probably doesn't matter because what do we have this weekend? By the way, for everybody who said, well, it's over. BYU's got no shot. Anybody notice that Michigan and Ohio State are going to play this weekend?
Hey, man. Opportunity.
By the way, how did it work out for BYU fans that Utah beat Oregon? Only helps them. Strength of schedule, right? Only helps them.
Yep.
So you know that Michigan's going to plummet. Look how far Michigan State fell. Michigan State in the AP poll is 12th. You're 13th. If you just scored 60 points 3 times in a row, do you think you'd be 12th or 11th right now? You think you would have leapfrogged Oregon? Probably not. But you'd probably be 12th. I'm just telling you, nothing was lost until you decided not to show up against Georgia Southern.
Yep.
So I don't know what I'm talking about. It's only sports and football.
Do you even watch BYU games?
I don't. Who's BYU? Oh, you mean Brigham?
Brigham.
David McPhail says a week and a half from now, you milk boys are going to be choking on your cuds so bad.
Okay.
Not really sure what that means.
Yeah,
Brian Carter says Georgia Southern wanted the ball back even if it was after BYU's touchdown. Opportunity lost on multiple levels.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep.
Brandon Whiteside says good bowl game would be Notre Dame versus BYU. Well, Notre Dame's 5th in the country. So I don't think that's going to happen. Tanner Plummer says you're 13th. Actually, Monty, BYU is 14th right now. They could be 13th tomorrow. Well, no, in the AP poll, you're 13th, which generally has been
pretty accurate.
A pretty good indicator of what's going to happen in the college football playoff. Oh, that's right, because they're pretty much the same kind of thinkers that put the they're fans.
Yeah.
They're industry experts. They're fans. They're not using formulas. This ain't the BCS.
There's a TV on the wall that has a schedule of whatever team they're talking about. And they're just going to walk through it and talk about it, and that's it.
It's absolutely true.
Like, that's all it is, man. It's not like I think people think that these guys have like some,
Well, Jake, it's a computer algorithm, and we call that big computer over there Scotty.
They're in New York City in a skyscraper building with a building full of people running numbers.
Yeah,
no, they're not.
It's going to spit out an algorithm and shit.
No, they're at the damn golf course in a conference room with a TV on the wall, and they're talking about these teams and the schedule. It's that simple.
It's crazy. Yeah. It is what it is. Do BYU coaches even watch football?
No.
The Nakuas do, Ramiro said. Yeah, the Nakuas do. The Nakuas do. It is what it is. I just think it's one of those things where BYU's had a nice season.
As you climb, you have to learn how to win and handle your business. And that's the process they're going through right now.
Norge Coog says 0 passes defended. They had 2 picks. Different stat. Pass defended is not the same thing as an interception. I doubt the committee watched a game on ESPN+. Well, see Big Mugamba. That's his name. Big Mugamba, that's exactly my point. You're right. They didn't watch the game.
Shout out to Mobamba.
You know what they do watch? Well, they watch the box score, and they watch the highlights. And they see that BYU played Georgia Southern, who most people don't even know that Clay Helton's the head coach of that team.
Mm-hmm.
And they see that they only scored 34 points. So that's not impressive.
Doesn't send a good message. Not impressive. Jesus.
By the way, Ute fan talking about how Utah's going to vault over BYU. I think if Utah wins the Pac-12 championship, they will pass BYU in the standings. I think they will. I think because I just don't see how BYU improves their situation now. Because you're playing a really crappy USC team that got boat raced by a really crappy UCLA team.
Yeah, and everybody knows that USC is not good this year. Everybody.
So it's just hard for BYU to improve their position because now the opportunity for teams to lose it shrinks. And now the problem is like Ohio State and Michigan's a really good point. Like, okay, Michigan loses to Ohio State. That's the number, 2 team in the country. You're going to fall 2 or 3 spots. You're not probably going to fall 10 spots, right? I mean, I wouldn't think so. That's the number 2 team in the country.
Yeah.
That makes it difficult. Alabama beats Auburn. Well, is Alabama going to move up? Well, they're already 3rd. Well, Ohio State's going to boat race Michigan, so it's probably not. Do the math. Your chance to move up or take big leaps is over now. It's over. You don't have a great way to improve your resume.
The only way you can improve your resume now is by making a statement against USC.
And I'm not trying to be Mr. Negative on it, and I know it comes off that way, I would assume. But BYU's had a nice season. I mean, you've had a nice season. You've accomplished a lot. You didn't accomplish what you wanted to accomplish, but you've recruited your ass off.
Yep.
You're in the Big 12. You beat Utah. By all measures, if I'd have said, hey, you're going to get into the Big 12, you're going to dominate the state in recruiting, and you're going to beat Utah. Is that a good season?
Yes.
Well, yeah. Yeah. But I see the thing that's really hard for me is I know what you've left on the table. I'm not a BYU fan, so I can look at it analytically, unemotionally.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you left on the table. You absolutely gave away a New Year's Six Bowl with your last 2 games. You gave a month ago, you were in perfect spot. New Year's Six Bowl, 66 against Bronco. Perfect.
Yeah.
60, 35, 40 against USC. We're into a New Year's Six Bowl.
The path was clear.
Didn't happen. It is, to me, like Jeremy Bolton. Exactly. BYU's chance for a New Year's Six Bowl was Boise State, period. That's completely, absolutely wrong. Wrong. 100% not true in any way, shape, or form. If BYU had just that one loss even, if BYU had just lost to Boise or had just lost to Baylor, they're a top 10 team right now.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to even talk about. So you can lose a game. And in BYU's space, you can lose too.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting here telling yourself this morning, well, we lost the New Year's Six Bowl against Boise. You don't know football. You don't know how the committee votes. You don't know what the committee looks at. You don't understand momentum, and you don't understand the college football playoff and what role the New Year's Six plays in the college football playoff.
Are we clear on that?
If you think that Boise State, the loss to Boise State, means that BYU's out of a New Year's Six, you frankly just don't know football. You're a fan, and you just watch your team, and it's cool, and everything's great, because it's not. You likely lost a shot at a New Year's Six when you took your foot off the gas against 2 weeks ago. Idaho State, thank you.
Yep.
Why do I always want to say Florida Atlantic?
I have no idea, man. They're all the same.
Against Idaho State, and then you came out and dropped a dud against Georgia Southern.
Yep.
Your resume, listen, if it had been 66, 59, 60, 65 against Georgia, 60 to 17,
we're good.
We're good to go. We just got to go and beat USC, and we're probably in a New Year's Six. Because you knew Oregon was going to lose. You knew Michigan State was going to lose. And as soon as Michigan State lost, they were going to, tumble down the cliff. Like, it was over.
Yeah.
Michigan State, hey, Michigan State, that's a team. They lose, it's over. But see, the luxury, the best part and the worst part is nobody watches BYU on that committee. Nobody. So they're just looking at your resume. Well, look at all these Pac-12 wins, and look what they did to they beat Utah, and look what Utah did to Oregon. And man, look at this. They put 66 up on Virginia, and they put 67 up on Idaho State. That's not Florida Atlantic.
Man, and then they put 63 on Georgia Southern.
Dude, what a roll this team's on. And then they scored 35 on USC at USC to end their season.
And held them to less than 20 points.
And we're going to get 2 million people watching the game and probably 50,000 at the game. Yeah, I think we can fit them in. That's how the committee works. It's how the committee works. That's it. It's conjecture. Look at what happened. Again, not to be redundant, but look what happened with Michigan and Michigan State. By the way, anybody know who won the Michigan State game? Okay. Well, Michigan State did. But wait, that can't be true because Michigan's ranked ahead of Michigan State. Oh, that's right. It's opinion. That's the only thing you need. That's the only thing you need. They lost to Michigan State 37-33, and they were still ranked ahead of Michigan State.
Yeah, it's narrative. It's the story that you can tell.
You're crazy. Since the BCS ended, this is what the college football playoff,
which is
and New
kind of
Year's Six Bowls have
embarrassing in
been.
concept. I mean, it is kind of embarrassing, but it is what it is. I mean, that's how it works.
Yeah. Cam Harrison says, great season for BYU. I agree, Monty. Show out Mo Bamba. Exactly right. Exactly right. Spencer Morgan says, BYU does not have the tie-in for the New Year's Six because they're not in a G5. Do I really have to explain this?
I think that's some trolling.
I'm going to leave it. Spencer Morgan says, for BYU to be in a New Year's Six, they would have had to be getting in addition to another. That's exactly right. Which the committee has said they would do. The committee has all along repeatedly said we want the best teams in. There are no rules. Really, there are no rules. So it's impossible for BYU to get in. It's not.
I want it.
It's not. It's not. It just is that. I'm telling you, we can sit here and argue about it. You're wrong. If you think that BYU had no chance to get into a New Year's Six Bowl, you're wrong.
Yeah, that's just not true.
I mean, everybody's been talking about it. If we're wrong, then ESPN's wrong. Then, like, every major college football pundit is wrong.
BYU Sports Nation is wrong.
No. You watch your mouth. Anyway, my point is, every major college football pundit has been talking about it.
Yeah.
It's no different than the BCS buster. Oh, but that couldn't have happened. Anyway. Hawaii, here we come, says BYU just needs 100 against USC and they'll be fine.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Did I just hear someone has the name Hawaii, here we come?
Correct.
Unbelievable. Absolutely incredible. Whoever you are, that's amazing.
That's what I'm saying.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, what other comments we got?
Nord Coug says, interesting that Michigan State is only 7 votes ahead of BYU in the AP. Your argument is very valid. A win in the order you described against Georgia Southern would have maybe also vaulted them ahead of Oregon.
Yeah, because it's the story. I mean,
it's humanity.
We can say, hey, maybe they might have got in front of this team or that team, but at the end of the day, the problem here is that now we can't say it either way. We can't even play the what if game because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. Now, again, to your point, and I think it's a great point, because nobody on the committee watches BYU games, they can get away with some things, right? So, like this Georgia Southern performance, nobody's going to know that you basically got punched in the face at the end of the game. Nobody's going to know that you got burritos thrown at you. Nobody's going to know, like, all this stuff that happened. But what they're going to know is the box score. That's the problem. They're going to see, you didn't put up points.
Cal said, I don't understand why this is such a difficult conversation for BYU fans to have. We didn't do the job. It is very clear that the committee has used their opinion to rank teams.
Yeah.
You're exactly right that there's no computer formula, which is what everybody hated about the BCS. Now there's no computer and everybody hates the college football playoff. It's never going to be good enough.
Makes me want to puke.
It's never going to be good enough.
No, it's not. And that's fine. Fine.
You're arguing that BYU had no chance. But you're talking about human beings that can do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
They literally can do anything they want. They're in control of who wins or who plays
They could put UTSA #1 in the country if they wanted to.
They're in control of who plays for a national championship.
Yeah.
Now, would they do that? No, they would not. Would BYU have ever been like one of the top 3? No, they would not. Right now, when they're in the Big 12, okay, different story, different, path to greatness, whatever.
But that's not where we are.
But you had your seat at the table. It's amazing to me. It is what it is. It's not worth arguing about. I'm telling you, if you think they had no chance, you just.
And I still, by the way,
crazy.
Still think they have a sliver of a chance. I still think they've got a shot, dude.
There's no resume there anymore. There's no there. There's nothing special or unique about BYU football now. because they're not boat racing terrible teams and beating P5s and proving that they belong and look at this like a great story, and there's no there.
I don't know. You don't think if they were to put up, they're not doing 60 against SC, but like if they did, 45, let's say, or
I think the problem with the SC is that they just don't win games anymore.
yeah, but then you'd be able to say, okay, 6P5 wins, like, I don't know. I still think I'm not trying to be stubborn. I just still think like if we're talking about storytelling, I mean, they still have a bit of a story, right? I mean, you still got 6P5 wins. You beat this Utah team, like a little bit.
I think when you get down to the last,
Yeah.
there's so much reading of resumes.
There is. Yeah.
And when you look at who Utah has beaten, okay, well, they've dominated the South. They beat Oregon. Like there's a clear the emotion, we've had Ty Jordan and Aaron Lowe, and they absolutely crushed the Ducks, and
that was impressive, dude.
Momentum, story, resume. You look at BYU, and BYU's story is, well, they came out and, they got in the Big 12 now, and, they went on that incredible run. They were 5-0. Yeah, they lost to Boise, but, that was in midway through the season, and at Baylor. Baylor's ranked ahead of you, so that loss isn't tragic. It's not like it's not like both your losses were, Boise-type losses, right? You lost to a ranked Baylor team who's ranked ahead of you now.
Yeah.
Okay, not the end of the world, right? But look, then they score 21 at Corvallis and 66 against a respected Virginia team and 59. I mean, they put up 59 on Idaho State.
Mm-hmm.
And then 34. And then
whatever it is.
You have no way to backstop that.
Yeah.
Like it just feels like the car slipped out of gear. That's what it feels like. And you're going to wind up in the Independence Bowl, and you're going to wonder what could have been. And most BYU fans won't. And we won't, 6 months from now, we won't even be talking about this. And it'll be like, oh man, what a year that was. Remember we got into the Big 12 the same weekend we beat Utah, and that's what the narrative will be. Yeah. And we'll paint over this, and it'll look beautiful. But just remember, November 22nd, 2021, you were too nice. And you allowed Georgia Southern, of all people, to rip your helmet off, and you did nothing about it. That's what really irks me.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're not going to get into a New Year's Six, I mean, okay, it was a big ask anyway. It was unlikely anyway. But hey, you know what? You did everything you could do. And you know what? You had that riot against Georgia Southern because they, went after, Puka and then like they ripped your helmet off. So, enough was enough. You had to kick their ass. That would have been amazing. That would have been making a statement. But, the other thing is, think about it this way. You're decelerating. You're going to the Independence Bowl. What if Kalani leaves? Then what?
I don't think he will.
It makes me nervous every day that goes by. They don't announce a reworked version of his contract.
Okay, that I agree with. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Because I don't know why you wouldn't do that. Other than you're trying, my guess is the offset buyout language, whatever, however you want to term it, is what's standing in the way. Because money's not standing in the way. He's already well paid, and I can't believe that BYU would not up the compensation and stability for his staff. Why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
I mean, money's not the issue at BYU. My guess is it's buyout. My guess is it's technicalities. And Kalani's going to, I'm telling you, he's got an interview request from USC. He's got an interview request from LSU. He's going to have an interview request from Washington.
Yeah.
I mean, do you really want him out talking to other people?
No.
I would just prevent it. I would not allow him to do it. And you do that by locking the guy up.
Wouldn't be the first time we've seen that in this state.
I think you have to do everything that you can do to keep Kalani in Provo, because it's really hard to find a quality head football coach that checks all of his boxes, man. And USC, every time I talk to somebody at USC,
yeah, they're about it.
To have a Polynesian head coach that is defense first and can recruit offense. Are you kidding me? Like it is already an easier task to build talent at USC. Like the kids want to go to USC. The lifestyle, the campus, the chicks, the life, the parties, the academics, like kids want to go there.
Yeah.
The NIL opportunities, kids want to be in LA. They want to be at USC. They want to be at USC more than they want to play football at UCLA. And now I guarantee you, the narrative that you can use to recruit at USC is bring USC back to glory. Bring the men of Troy back to the national championship. Man, it's easy.
Yeah.
To hire a guy like Kalani Sitake to do that, Pac-12 experience, best defensive coordinator in the conference while he was at Utah. Come on. Look what he's done at BYU.
Mm-hmm.
I would not even let him talk to people. I would not.
Yeah.
Because, truth be told, I wouldn't go take the Washington job right now. I think it's a great job.
It's not a better job than USC, though. That's
for sure. When you're not having coaches throwing kids in the lockers in the Washington locker room, yeah, it probably is. It's pretty close. But it depends on what you value.
Yeah.
It depends if you value Hollywood and the glitz and the glam and that lifestyle. USC is tough to beat. USC is tough to beat. But you know what else it is? It's the polar opposite of Provo.
Yeah.
That's a different world. Expectations are through the roof at USC. They're not at BYU.
Yeah.
This conversation we've had today, the acceptance of failure at BYU is just fine. Hey, we had a nice season, boys. All right, go get them.
Try again next year.
Yeah, we got basketball now. All right, Coach Pope, you're the best. That's what BYU is.
Yeah.
That's and as much as we were talking earlier about irrational Utah fans expect to win the Pac-12 championship every year. And by the way, it's becoming habit that Utah wins the South now.
Yeah.
Like it's becoming a habit. And that's the expectation.
Yep.
It's not the expectation at BYU. It's not. Winning is not the most important thing at BYU. Very clearly, based on this conversation.
Actions speak louder than words, and they've sent that message.
The fact that you want to be nice and you made a decision not to score more on Idaho State, and you made a decision to play nice guy, whoa, hey, we're not going to lower ourselves to that level.
What level would that be?
Like, I'd have beat wholesale ass against Georgia State.
Yeah, dude, 70. Let's go.
I would have, as soon as the Puka Nacua thing happened, that would have been it. Listen, call it what it is. Georgia Southern, we're doing you a solid. We filled your stadium. We brought a bunch of fans, brought a bunch of eyeballs to your program. Nobody knows who you are. How many people
cares to know?
How many people listening to the show even know what Georgia Southern's mascot is?
Or like you said, Clay Helton's existence at Georgia Southern.
Nobody knows who you are. And then you're going to punch us in the face and disrespect us and try to take physical advantage of us?
Yeah, and then we're just going to keep taking knees.
By the way, there's a minute and a half to go and we're up 50 points. Here, let's make that 57. Right? Let's prove a point. No, we don't do that. We score 34 and 17's enough. And
neat. All right.
It really frustrates me.
Yeah.
It really frustrates me. Anyway, Avery Cope, a man of Polynesian descent and charisma like Kalani, would absolutely own recruiting in the West Coast at USC. I'm terrified they'll take him away. You should be, because I am telling you now, I've heard repeatedly, it's why LSU wants to talk to him. I don't think LSU will hire him. I think LSU wants a born and bred SEC man.
Yeah.
But he's in the conversation for every major opening.
And as he should be. He's earned that. With what he's done, he's earned that.
But he's only in the conversation because he's vulnerable.
Yeah.
BYU is vulnerable. Like, there's nothing keeping him at BYU. If USC wanted to hire him and he wanted to go, he could go. He could go. Who's going to replace Kalani Sitake?
Yeah, I don't know either. You don't replace Kalani Sitake. You don't.
He is the perfect guy.
Yeah.
The perfect guy. Anyway. Okay. Giggity says BYU didn't show half the fight Isaiah Stewart had last night. No, I agree. And there's a ton of comments today on this BYU discussion. Rad Coug fan says you're an idiot. BYU was never going to a New Year's Six. The church alone is reason enough to keep them out.
Oh, stop.
There you
go. Stop.
Gregor Favre. Gregor. Your name's Greg.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Hey. Gregor says, I just hate so much we're in this position every year.
Yeah.
Just on the outside looking in.
Yep, every single
year.
dude.
Calvin says, finally someone speaking the truth. We should have, could have, and did not do better.
Yeah.
Should have and could have really hurt. Should have, words like should have, you never want to be associated with that. A couple more, and then we got to move on to LeBron being a cheap shot artist. Nicholas Vela says, remember Coastal Carolina did the same thing.
Yeah.
That's your reputation. Memphis did the same thing. It's your reputation. Jeremy Bolton says, LOL, the acceptance of failure. That's incredible. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. How am I wrong that BYU fans have normalized mediocre performance on the football field?
Mm-hmm.
How are you telling me that's incorrect? BYU fans have a very high tolerance for mediocrity. You're okay with it.
Oh, man, every year we're just on the outside looking in. Every year it's the blah, blah, blah. Like, that's what we hear.
Yeah, you know. Jeremy Bolton says, I bet that's Kalani's recruiting tool. Come to BYU where we accept failure. Dude, you can be crass and sarcastic all you want, but you can't back up what you're saying.
Yeah, you have no leg to stand on.
You know, like this is the whole...
This is what BYU fan doesn't want to admit. You don't want to admit that your program is not a killer program. It is awesome to talk BYU when they're fun, but BYU fan doesn't want to talk. We literally have, you know what's funny? And typically we wouldn't bring this up, but I think this is on point for this conversation. Every time BYU wins a game, we do thousands upon thousands of views on this channel for BYU content. Every time BYU loses a game, seems like BYU fan doesn't want to show up to have the conversation.
Correct.
So I'm not trying to call you guys out, but you can't sit here and say that you don't, you're not cool with failure if you're not willing to talk about it. I mean, it is literally, you can't dispute the fact that you should have run it up against Idaho State. You should have run it up against Georgia Southern. Like, you can't get away from this stuff.
College football is not a nice guy business.
Yeah, and by the way, it's not rocket science as to how to be successful. If you're BYU, go undefeated and you'll be where you want to be. That's what you should be trying to do. And if you're going to be a one-loss BYU team, then damn, you better be running it up against everybody else. But they don't want to do that. So, yeah, be crass in the comments, but at the end of the day, the truth is what it is.
And why is it okay to run it up against Utah but not Idaho State?
Oh, because Utah's big brother. Utah's a team that we have to take down. They're our arch rival.
Yeah.
I got news for you. Every team that you play is your arch rival. You have to dominate these teams to get to where you want to go.
No. Jeremy Bolton, let's make sure we're real clear on this. Jeremy Bolton said, I'm not saying you're wrong. I wish they would have put up 70. I really do. I wanted Kalani to score on that last drive to shove it down their throats, but they didn't. To say they accept failure, that's a stretch. I didn't say they accept failure. I said you,
BYU fan,
accept failure, mediocrity. You're okay. How many comments on this show after Idaho State? Well, 59's enough. Well, what are we trying to prove?
we got to have sportsmanship.
No, you don't. Football's not a nice guy business.
Yeah, it never has been.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, let's talk Utah Jazz basketball because finally you felt like they got their swag back a little bit over the last couple of games, and you're seeing the three ball go in a little more, and you're looking. That Sacramento win was not insignificant, and with Rudy Gay, playing good basketball now, and you can see, really well where he fits into this Jazz team. I think you saw some real bright lights from the Jazz against Sacramento. Over the last two games, I think you've seen some real bright lights out of the Jazz, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've looked better, as I would expect them to. You would expect them to handle the Kings. But, I still feel like Quinn is trying to find the actual rotation off the bench. I still feel like he's searching for what the best, 7-8 guy combination is going to be. And there was one lineup in particular that I was a little bit confused as to what the logic of it was. So Quinn runs out Joe Ingles, and Trent Forrest on the floor together, which initially I was like, all right, cool, this is fine, right? Joe can stand in the corner on the wing.
Yeah.
He can shoot. Everything would be fine. But then what do we get? We get Joe Ingles playing point guard instead of Trent
I was
Forrest.
surprised by that.
What are we doing? You know,
I was surprised by that.
So, tactically speaking, like, yeah, they won the game, but you can still see they're trying to figure out, like, what are we going to be? Like, we know we can shoot the three at a very successful rate. We know that about this team. That's not in secret. Everybody on planet Earth knows that the Jazz can shoot the three at a ridiculous rate. But what happens when the three is not available to you? That's what the conundrum is right now. And in tandem with that, when the three is not available to you, what personnel do you have to have on the floor to get over that hurdle? And I do think Rudy Gay helps them with that. But I think at the end of the day, I can't have Joe Ingles playing point guard anymore, man. I'm sorry, Joe. That's not where you are.
Well, it was good to see Joe make some threes.
I mean, he had a nice game, no doubt. I mean, it's good to see the ball going in again. And by the way, he deserves credit for continuing to shoot it. That's something that never gets talked about, I feel like. He's still shooting it at a high rate.
Yeah, and I thought Rudy Gay contributed on a lot of different levels in that Kings game. Now, obviously, he didn't score a lot. I think he had 3 points and one three. But to rebound, to play good defense, to see Rudy Gay sprinting up and down the floor, gives you some comfort that he's going to be there.
Yeah.
And I think that's really significant because if they can play small ball effectively, if they can have some defensive continuity with Rudy off the floor, and if you can play Hassan and Rudy Gay together, man, that's a big deal. That is a big deal.
A lot of length.
Yeah, Rudy Gay can shoot the three. He equalizes a lot of matchups that right now, before he was healthy, you weren't able to equalize. And you know what? The other thing that I think is so important is that you're starting to see, like some consistency in the starting five starting to come together. Like you're starting to see better ball movement. You're starting to see, more rim running from the bigs, like Rudy running rim to rim. I think Rudy Gobert had gotten away over the last couple of weeks from just rim running. Like all Rudy has to do is rebound the ball, kick it out, and run to the Jazz front of the rim offensively. And he creates so many problems and so much space. But he had been stopping at the free throw line or stopping at the top of the ring to set a pick.
Yeah.
That it was taking the Jazz out of that ability to rotate the basketball. And it just I think they had gotten clunky. You're seeing Rudy get a little deeper offensively off the initial set. And I think that's really opening up a lot of ball movement for the Jazz. So I think they have to keep doing that. And I also think the other part of this is Hassan Whiteside now is a lot more comfortable offensively.
Yeah.
He seems to really understand what he has to do. And you can see he's having a lot more fun. He's a lot more energetic on defense because he's more comfortable.
Well, and I think
in
Quinn,
the set.
I think, one thing that Hassan, not that Rudy can't do it, I just think Hassan's a bit better at it when he's in the game, is they're able to get Hassan to the top of the key, like the free throw line area portion of the floor, and they're able to get him the ball there. And then it's almost like he's running, the option route in football. He can either take it himself and try to get his own, or he can kick it out to either wing depending on how they have it set up. And I really like that motion because once the ball goes to the middle, then goes to the weak side, the Jazz can swing it. And again, this is how they need to be creating offense. Swing the ball around to a guy who can make the shot. Preferably not Royce O'Neal, but if it's Royce, that's fine. He's been making it lately. So, these are the kind of things I'm watching for.
Excuse me. It's Buckets O'Neal.
My bad. Sorry. Buckets O'Neal. Right. Yeah. We get
so disrespectful. First
I
it's
know.
BYU, now it's Buckets O'Neal that you just won't pronounce his name correctly.
Yeah, I know.
It's disrespectful, man.
I know.
Jeez.
I know.
But the one thing I think is interesting, and I want to talk about this LeBron fight as well, guys are attacking Rudy Gobert now. And I think we saw it again in the Sacramento game. Rashawn Holmes is that guy. Rashawn Holmes has always been a guy. When we covered him in Phoenix, he was always that guy that was out looking for smoke.
He's a gritty, I'll punch you in the face guy.
And
Absolutely.
now he's a lot more evolved offensively. And so now he has an impact on the game, and he still wants to knock your teeth out. And I think one of the things you're seeing is the bigs on teams and the aggressive guards on teams are attacking Rudy Gobert. And Rudy's going to have to find some
toughness,
composure, but he's going to have to find a way to stand up for himself, because I think what you're seeing is guys know, I mean, he straight up said he's not going to, attack somebody in a fight on the floor.
Yeah, well.
And I think that's why guys are coming for him. Now, I'm not telling you to go all Isaiah Stewart and, have a riot. But you've got to stand up for yourself, and it'll be interesting to see, because Rudy's not emotionally composed on most nights. Like,
I'm a man.
Yeah, you can get after Rudy's ass a little bit, and he will respond.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how that goes on over the next couple of weeks, because if you look at the schedule here coming up for the Jazz, they've got an interesting little set. Like, Memphis is one of those grinder teams, and they got a bunch of dudes that'll come at you. Now, the Jazz are going to torch Memphis. Let's not even kid ourselves. But New Orleans, Portland, Boston, Cleveland, and then Minnesota. There's some athletes in those games.
Mm-hmm.
There's some guards.
Look out for Minnesota.
Yeah, there's some guards
Dude,
that want to come for you.
Minnesota just beat Memphis by like 40 the other night. So the Jazz are definitely going to torch Memphis. But, yeah, I think, we're just going to keep talking about it. We try to come up with creative and new angles on the Jazz, but at the same time, their issues, if you want to call them issues, the things that they are working on, that's how I prefer to word it, the things they're working on are really, they are tactical, but the thing you can't teach is athleticism. And I think that, I look at Minnesota's a good example. Anthony Edwards is playing out of his mind right now. The guy is on the highlight reel constantly. He's breaking people off. He's dunking on people. Like, the guy can play. And I don't really feel like there's a guy on this roster who, it's going to be Royce O'Neal who probably picks him up.
Hello.
Buckets O'Neal, sorry.
Man.
It's going to be, Royce O'Neal, Buckets O'Neal, who picks him up. But even him, the best defender the Jazz have by most people's standards, he's not going to be able to play one-on-one with Anthony Edwards and have success, because he's not big enough and he's not quick enough. And again, that's not hating on Royce, but it is what it is. That's just the facts of the case. So my point is that I think as these games go on, let's stop talking about whether they're going to win or lose these games. They're going to beat these teams. But what I'm more curious about is, how do they go about doing it? Are we getting, like, whether it's Hassan or Gobert in the game, are we getting that, hey, let's move the ball into the middle, get the defense to collapse a little bit, and then let's kick it back out? Are we getting that motion? Because I'm telling you, they are lethal when they get that.
Well, I'm curious how Quinn Snyder will, also in these games where you have quick athletic teams, how does he, when is Eric Paschall going to get minutes back?
I don't know,
because I think you're seeing the guys that are losing some minutes very clearly. Joe Ingles has probably lost 3 to 5 minutes a game.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Paschall, is just not. I think he played 2 minutes against.
I don't feel like he ever
Sacramento.
Really got established, though. Like obviously Joe Ingles is an established figure on this team,
but he's losing minutes to Rudy Gay. There's no doubt.
He is. But my point with Paschall is just that I don't feel like Paschall. Not that this is a criticism of Paschall, but I just don't feel like Paschall has been around long enough yet to hey, this is my established role. I don't think Quinn, again, and I feel like I'm saying this a lot, I just don't feel like Quinn has a good grip yet on guys we're figuring out Rudy Gay pretty quick, mainly because it's a pretty straightforward thing with Rudy Gay. But with Paschall, there's so many different ways that you can use him. It's kind of what's the best way to use him on a nightly basis? Well, it depends on the team you're playing. If I would have loved to have seen Paschall more against the Kings, because it's the Kings. I would love to see Paschall out there against teams that you're definitely going to beat. I think you said they had Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
I want to see minutes for him in that Cleveland game.
I'm curious, too, what they do to backstop Mike Conley.
You know the solution. They're just not using it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that storyline goes. I think they're going to have to trade for a backup point guard. Because you cannot continue to have you're asked again. Joe Ingles is a really solid contributor to this team.
Mm-hmm.
He cannot be your point guard anymore. And I think Donovan in the playoffs, especially regular season, Donovan bringing the ball up is really not that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
In the postseason, it takes him out of the offensive set because as we saw against the Clippers and a little bit against Memphis, but to a lesser extent, teams will double team him right at the mid-stripe. They will. I mean, they will send 2 guys at him, and you're fine in the playoffs to let somebody other than Donovan Mitchell beat you.
Yep.
And if Mike Conley's healthy, it's going to be Mike Conley. But I'm curious when Mike's off the floor, who they give the ball to.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think you need to, and this is why I say, Josh Hart's the perfect guy. You need somebody that can play the Alex Caruso Bulls role.
Mm-hmm.
You need somebody that can play, like, if you think of the best teams, look at the Laker comeback last night. Speaking of LeBron, it's because they have multiple guys doing multiple things.
Yeah.
And then when it's crunch time, they count on their stars. That's what the Jazz have to figure out. Who are those guys that are going to do multiple things for you?
Here's the problem. And again, I know people hate this. Rudy needs for this team with this roster right now, they need Rudy to be that difference maker offensively.
Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, Rudy Gobert. Yeah, sorry.
He has to learn 2 things then.
Yeah.
Stop bringing the ball below your shoulders. He has a terrible habit, and I think it's because he wants to dribble. But Rudy Gobert cannot bring the ball below his shoulders, and he's got to stop trying to dribble at the top of the key. He wants to dribble across the paint, and teams just henpeck him to death.
Yeah.
And it causes turnovers.
The thing that and I guess Candy's a nuts, right? Because it's probably not going to happen. But I've been thinking about this. I guess at a minimum, it's not even that Rudy needs a jumper at this point. You just need him to be able to kind of bully his way around down there. You need him to be able to put a shoulder into somebody. Yeah.
He needs to be able to operate. The jump shot is there. You can, like, he had one against Sacramento the other night.
He did.
Right? Like, he's got that little 5 to 8 foot jumper. That's all he needs. But let that be who you are, because you're not a guy who's going to figure out how to dribble in the middle of the season. You don't have the footwork or the hand-eye coordination as a 7-footer to put the ball down low, because you'll notice the reason he turns it over so much, by the way, is because he isn't flexible. He doesn't bend down to dribble the ball and protect it. So he's a 7-footer dribbling the ball up here. Well, guards are going to take that from you.
All day.
But my point is, I think in crunch time, Rudy Gobert is not going to be on the floor. I think you're going to see a heck of a lot more Rudy Gay and Hassan Whiteside combinations when the game's on the line, because you can't afford the turnovers. When you shoot the 3 as well as this Jazz team shoots the 3, you have to value every possession.
Yeah.
Because it turns into 5, 8, 11-point swings when you're turning the ball over. They turned the ball over 3 straight trips the other night.
Yeah.
That's potentially 8 to 9 points.
Yep.
And you can't have that. You just can't have that. Now, this LeBron thing last night, this is really terrible.
It's Bush
now,
League.
Obviously, I am not a LeBron guy. You don't have to have watched this show very long to know that.
Isn't that who's on the wall? LeBron?
Sure it is. And that's a LeBron sneaker there, and this is LeBron. Anyway, the point is, LeBron James punching Stewart in the face last night, and if it was accidental, I don't buy it was accidental.
Yeah, whatever.
He was looking to make significant contact because I'm King James and you don't put your hands on me.
My fucking ass.
That was Bush League. It was a cheap shot to be sure. Now, what Stewart did was over the top, ridiculous. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? But LeBron deserves a suspension for this.
Yeah.
I'm tired of LeBron getting away with murder. Yes, the ejection was absolutely the right call, right? But now he needs to be punished further than that. You broke a man's face. I mean, he was bleeding. You broke a man's face.
A lot, dude. Not a little bit, a lot.
Because you punched him in the face.
Because you were mad about what?
And
this is my point. Whether we're talking Jazz or Lakers or anybody else, dude, you're playing the Pistons, dude.
You were down 20 to the Pistons. Mrs. Monty and I, we had a really nice day yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, like we trimmed the tree. We went out and had, I spited you because you went out on a date, so we went and got soup and salad at Olive Garden for dinner.
You would.
Like, we had a really nice day together.
Mm-hmm.
And then we flipped down the Laker game. And we're like, I was like, damn, they're down 19 to the Detroit Pistons.
Now, maybe this is part of the brilliance of LeBron, right? On the other side, what ended up happening in this game? Oh, you punch somebody in the face, you get in a fight, you totally change the narrative of the game, and all of a sudden they come back.
No. Well, you were busy getting a handy in the car. I was actually sitting on the couch. Thank you. I was actually sitting on the couch watching the game.
Mm-hmm.
The brilliance of the Lakers last night was Anthony Davis. That guy played like the best center in the NBA last night. Oh, because he is. And catching the ball in traffic, the ability to dunk, the ability to whip around a reverse layup, the ability to defend Cade Cunningham, not once but twice. There was a sequence in that game where he blocked a three-point shot from Cade, who got it back, who tried to go to the basket, and Anthony Davis was like, get the f out of here, man.
Yep.
And blocked his shot. Goes down, transition basket.
Yep.
I'm telling you, the Lakers are better when they play a frenetic, fast style of basketball, and I don't know that LeBron can play that way.
I don't know that AD can play that way.
AD played that way last night.
Yeah, but he can't stay healthy playing that way. He's shown that many times.
Yeah, that's probably true. I would agree with that.
They need to be a better half-court set team.
And now that Klay Thompson's close to returning for Golden State, he's practicing in
2
full.
weeks away.
Now that you hear Kawhi Leonard's playing 3-on-3.
The league's only getting better. And this is my point with the Jazz, too, right? The league's only getting better. So these Jared Butler, not playing, these, issues that we see, like, you got to solve these issues, man. And again, I'm not trying to criticize the Jazz. I'm just saying, what's coming. You can see, just like with BYU, you can see team punishment coming for the Jazz at the end of the year. The league's getting healthy, teams are getting better, and you can see, because inevitably every NBA team goes through this. We saw it last year. We'll see it this year. At some point, the Jazz will lose 10 of 12. Everybody's going to freak out. They're going to make a trade. They're going to get some positivity going, and then they'll win a bunch of games. And so the question is just going to be, okay, well, are you, when that cold streak does come, are you the 2 seed at that time? Or are you already the 5th seed?
Well, I wonder if the Jazz go cold because they can't shoot the 3.
Well,
because
we've seen it.
I mean, if they continue to shoot the 3 like this, that's scary. Let's get some of your comments in here. Zach Thornton says, if you love Kalani so much, why are you defending him? Who's defending Kalani today? They threw burritos at you, Kalani. You said that. Why didn't you crush them? Because
I think we specifically talked about that.
The worst part is, hopefully, you didn't try to crush them. That'd be worse. Josh Levern says, start the rumors of King James to Sacramento. Doubt that. James Knight says, don't you guys get sick of bringing up the same crap about Gobert? Get it in your heads. He's a defensive beast with limited offensive. Other than a rim, it just won't change. Well, it is changing. Rudy is evolving as a player.
Yeah, you can see it.
He's shooting. He's shooting much better. The free throw shooting's much better. This 5 to 8 foot push jumper shot that he's got is going in. He just needs to stop turning the ball over off the dribble.
And his composure is slightly better this year than it was last year.
Well, he's leading the league in technical fouls, so
he
I don't
is,
know if
I'm telling you, I mean, seriously, it takes longer to get him going. You can still do it, but it does take a little bit longer.
Yeah. Richard McDonald said, as I said last week, BYU greater than Utah, Oregon.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever, man.
Okay, stop.
Like, you can live on that hill, but
Look,
it's just not true.
Addiction is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Smoking crack this early in the morning is not good. Spencer Morgan says they need to reduce Joe's minutes way more and give them to Butler and Pascal. I think you do need to reduce Joe's minutes. By the way, am I not getting any credit for the Utah thumbnail that was on Friday? We said they were going duck hunting. We predicted a win and they won. And I don't get any credit for that? Come on, Morgan. Spencer Morgan.
Bet you weren't expecting this one.
Spenmo? Oh, that's your new name.
Spenmo.
Josh Levern says, happy Turkey Week, boys. Did I miss the LBJ Stewart circus talk? Nope. Right on time.
We were
right
just
on
talking
time.
about it.
Should LeBron be suspended?
Yes, absolutely.
How many
100%.
games?
A game.
75 games?
No.
How many games do they have left? 62? 62 games?
Yeah, 1 game.
Okay. I think 1 game, too.
Yeah, 1 game.
All right, so we're going to Maui.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But as I mentioned, the handy in the parking lot last night.
Okay.
Look, I'm just trying to bring out the truth and stuff. You had a date last night.
Yeah, it actually went good.
It went well.
Yeah, it went good.
It went well.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It went well.
We went to Slackwater.
Is she hot? Oh, wait, is she hot?
Yeah, she's hot. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm breaking my narrative here. Blonde girl, 30.
Doesn't look like your mom.
Why?
Why?
See, why do you have to
I don't
say
know why you would date somebody who
disrespectful
doesn't look like your mom.
Why do you have to say disrespectful things like that?
Well,
see, why do you have to do that?
because you generally date women that look like your mom.
That's not true.
How is it not true?
Because it's not.
How many 5'10" brunettes have you dated?
1?
No. No.
1?
Way more than that.
No.
Okay.
No.
That's not what we're about.
Yes, it is. Okay, so she is. How tall is she? 5.
5. Yeah, she's like 5'9", 5'10". Yeah, she's tall.
Okay, so is she a natural blonde?
Yes.
Okay, and is she like? What do you like about this girl?
I like that she's 30 instead of my age.
And
so-
let's recap. By the way, this is the girl that you were like, hey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel you out by. Well, that came out wrong. I'm gonna get to know you
Wow.
by taking a walk around a lake on our first
She
date.
wanted to take a walk.
So on your first date, you guys went for a walk.
We went for a walk. What's
around
wrong with
Oak Creek
that?
Lake.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Okay.
Why is that bad?
No, I'm not. I'm not saying it's bad.
You're judging for sure.
Yeah. So that's what I do.
Yeah.
So you guys went for a walk around the lake.
Yeah.
It was like
okay.
she was a piece of white paper. Like she was pretty
Yeah, she
boring
wasn't.
and plain.
I mean, it just was like we had good, like decent conversation, but it wasn't. I didn't leave that feeling like, all right, this is something that has a lot of potential. You know, I kind of left that like, all right, I don't know if I'm going to see her again or not, mainly because I wasn't sure how she felt about it. You know, and then 2 weeks went by or whatever it was, and this was the first time we were able to get together. And then it went great. She was different this time. Like she was much more into it. The conversation was way better. It was a good time. And yeah, Slackwater's bomb. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, Slackwater's amazing.
Really,
My wife
really
loves
good, dude.
that place.
Really good. No, we went to the one in Sandy. Oh boy, Mike's coming out.
What? Oh, the mic's coming. Oh, sorry, I didn't. Mrs. Monty sometimes participates.
Uh-oh.
Not every day because we're. Anyway, hi,
Hello,
honey.
Yeah, I know what time it is.
So, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So this was a good date. So you guys.
Yeah, this is a good date.
What did she get at Slackwater?
She's a vegetarian.
Oh fuck! Here
Whoop
we go.
whoop. And she got gluten-free crust.
Why are you dating
Whoop,
a
whoop.
vegetarian?
Okay, what's wrong with vegetarians?
A, you're never gonna own a smoker. I'm telling you.
I'm definitely gonna own a smoker.
I'm telling you right now.
I do own it. Wait, whoa! I do own a smoker. Get
just
the hell
caught
out of
that.
here with that.
So wait, hang on. I'm telling you, vegetarians are weirdos.
Okay, well you would know.
I do. My wife's a vegetarian,
So get your facts straight.
which pretty much means I'm not a vegetarian.
Yeah, she's a foodie. She likes to travel. We were talking about food last night. And she was like, well, what's some of because she likes to cook a lot. So
What are some of your favorite foods? Artichoke hearts.
Yeah, and so
That is delicious.
yeah, and I was like,
I'm all down.
Oh, what's your favorite food? Brussels sprouts.
she was
I'm all
like, what do you
down.
like to eat? And
Hey,
I
you guys.
was like,
Hey guys, let's get crazy and have some wine and asparagus, pan fried, little butter, some lemon. Oh.
Butthole.
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So
Do you see how healthy that girl looks? She's a vegetarian.
I mean, there is nothing
does
better
look good.
than
She
grilled
does look good.
romaine lettuce.
yeah, she does look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
so she's hot.
I just said 5 minutes ago she was.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah.
So you're going to Maui now.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you guys leave it with you going to Maui?
That she's never been to Hawaii, so she was like, send me pictures. Like, well, I mean,
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. We're good.
Giggity wants to know, can't be a foodie if you're not eating all types of food. And James Knight says, great, Jake gets a hottie and she won't eat meat.
Well,
How concerned are you she won't eat meat?
Yeah, I've been immunized.
I'm not.
Well, yeah, is she
commenting.
vaccinated?
Yes, she is.
She is vaccinated. Wow.
She's not Mormon. She's vaccinated. She does snowboard.
Is
So-
she from here?
Yes.
She is.
Yes.
Okay. So when you say she snowboards, she's been snowboarding or she snowboards?
She hasn't. She actually can ski and snowboard. She hasn't been in a couple of seasons, but it's definitely something she wants to keep doing.
Okay.
Nice.
So,
I like
yeah.
it. Vegetarian, checks the box.
Yeah, it's so far it's good.
Food,
Wait, yeah,
travel.
she's a vegetarian. Did you check her box?
Okay.
What? It's a legitimate question.
Sorry, folks, that's what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, what do I even
Is
say?
that
to that?
HIPAA?
Yeah.
that's HIPAA.
Seriously, that is HIPAA,
I
actually.
actually think that is HIPAA.
That's HIPAA?
Yeah, that's
let's
definitely
not go
HIPAA.
checking her box.
Come on.
What do you are there any concerns, any red flags?
Not yet. I mean, I think no, there's not yet. There's not.
None,
There's
not
not
a
a major
single
red
one.
flag
And
that
this
I see
is
yet.
Megan?
Yeah.
Is
Another
it like
Megan.
MEGAN, MEGHAN?
No, it's MEGHAN. I think.
MEGH.
Meghan.
Meghan.
Yeah, it's
That's okay. It's like-
MEGHAN.
Okay. Are you
Yeah.
putting a ring on it?
Okay. It's
Okay,
been 2
it's
days,
like,
bro.
yeah,
Come on.
What the
Well, the first one
You
was
have
not.
this knack.
Yeah, I
Okay.
do.
Just annoying
Anyways.
the living hell out of me.
I do have that knack. But my question is, do you like? Is she? I don't know. She was so different on date 1 versus date 2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe she was just tired on the walk.
Hey,
I
Jake,
have no idea. Yeah.
Jake, wait.
Uh-huh.
See, in
yeah.
the morning.
No one will ever
Oh,
be
boy.
good enough for you.
Oh boy.
It's not
According
the
to your
best
father.
situation, and
It
we all
just
know
doesn't
that.
matter.
No, it's
It
not
just
the
doesn't
best.
matter. He's going to
I know.
scrutinize and think
But
everything.
no. That's
You
just
know.
what guys. But this is what guys do, right? I mean, when
No.
you get a new
No.
girlfriend,
No.
yes, it is.
Oh
yes,
my
it
gosh.
is.
Were you like that with your friend Lance? Were you like, oh, dude, horrible?
I
Nope.
didn't talk to Lance
Red
about it yet.
flags.
He's too busy cooking it.
No,
all the time.
No, but when dudes talk to dudes about their new girlfriends, this is exactly what
Okay,
you do.
but she's
No.
not my girlfriend. Just for all the commenters out there, just want to make that clear. We're
okay,
not there yet.
but the girl that you're
Yes.
giving most of
The
your
girl
attention
that I'm interested
to.
in, yes.
Boy, you went out of your way to clarify that.
Yeah, well, because I don't want. I don't
Are
know
there
if-
other
I don't- I
prospects
don't know if
listening to the
no,
show?
There's not, but I don't know if she's listening or not. I have no idea. So I have no idea.
She's not okay. She's not your girlfriend. This was just a good second
See,
date.
you don't take that seriously.
I do.
You don't have a good tap on how people are,
No, I
how
tap
seriously
that.
people. Yeah, we get it.
We tap all the time.
We get it.
But
yeah.
no, the point is, But this is an oddity. Are you going to talk on the phone while you're in Maui?
I don't know. There's not a plan.
How is that possible?
Because you think that everyone
Why
wants to
does
talk
there
on the
have
phone,
to be a
dude.
plan
I'm not
after
saying
like,
there's, but
No,
I'm
no,
not
no,
saying
it's not
that
a
there's.
plan.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to Maui, and I want us to talk once a day, and I'm hoping that maybe we can, at least text at least
She
3
is
times
roasting.
a day.
But
and
the point is, you guys never talk on the phone.
No, people our age don't talk on the phone. It's not the thing to do. Like, it's not.
Maybe he will, maybe
All
he
you
won't,
damn
but
Gen
there's no
Xers want to talk
plan.
on the phone.
Snooka says vegetarian equals red flag. That's what I'm saying. Homeless.
Okay.
Okay.
Home space less.
Yeah.
Okay.
Says nobody has a girlfriend or girl met that's new. The ones that are already hooked up, huh? I always think the fake girlfriend story. She's hooked up with a bull rider.
What?
I have
What
no
the hell
idea
are
what
you
I
even
don't
talking
know
about, bro?
what
Like,
you just
what
said.
the f-
We need to learn how to be more concise in our comments.
I'm with
people.
Jake. Forcing this so ridiculously cringe. Talking on the phone is cringe, Monty. Listen to Jake. Talking on the phone, and that's Greg Hawkins, who's
Dude.
a player.
Nobody my age talks on the phone, dude.
We grew up at a time that you could only talk on the freaking phone.
I didn't talk on the phone. I actually went over there and talked on the phone. I mean,
And that's how
we
Jake showed up
communicated.
oh, we
when you were
communicated,
20
alright.
years old.
You know. I'm not trying to force anything. I'm just asking, like, how are you going to cultivate this garden when you're,
Oh my God.
what? How are you?
just said cultivate this garden?
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep the bushes trimmed when you're gone. Like, how are you going to, keep
I think that's HIPAA.
her interest while you're gone?
I have her interest. I think it's
Snooka just put a bunch of red flags in the comments.
I'm sure he did.
We
did.
have unlimited minutes. Take advantage of it, Cam Harrison says.
Look, I'm not opposed to talking on the phone or FaceTiming. But
may
like people
not.
just don't want to do it. Like
Gabe Levy says Jake's red flag is the insane line of questioning
Yeah.
and ridiculous public conversation that he has
that's what I'm saying. Thank you, Gabe. That's what I'm saying.
What?
Thank you.
That's true.
Thank you.
Greg Hawkins says, remember to mail her, Jake, via USPS every Sunday.
Yeah.
Exactly. Josh says text, snap, do a TikTok video back to snap, then text.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, come on. I don't know why it is. People just don't like talking on the phone.
Just no
They don't wanna
Hawaiian dick
FaceTime.
pics.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no
no-
sexting.
No pictures of your pineapple, boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, no banana hammocks. We get it.
Yeah. Okay,
get
well,
it.
you can send her a picture of the banana hammock.
Yeah, next question.
You know.
Oh.
Anyway. So we need to talk about retail shopping.
Yeah.
Because we went to Best Buy yesterday. And then Britt tried to force you to go into Walmart.
Never gonna happen.
Never.
Ever.
I'm not retail shopping ever again.
That's not what we're about.
Or at least not anytime soon. Like we went to Best Buy yesterday. By the way,
Okay, so you've wanted to switch for a while.
Yeah.
Did it live up to it? Like, what do
Yes.
you think of it?
Yes.
I have an opinion.
Okay, what is it?
I'm not like he's super excited about the Mario Kart,
He should be.
but like the other games, I'm like,
You don't buy a Switch for any other game but Mario Kart.
Yeah, it's the
That's
it's
it.
a,
That's
you know.
it.
Yeah.
But she wants to play
how
like
much was
Tetris.
this? How much was this? How much was it?
$2.99.
Okay, so it's not that expensive
No.
for what it is. I mean, that's
It's
really
not at all.
So you wanted to play,
And you get Mario Kart free when you buy it for $2.99.
but you wanted to play other games. So you wanted to that's what you were disappointed in.
Yeah, the thing I don't like is like you can't just open it up and play a game. Like there's like a 15-minute intro. There's like, film
Is that
quality,
true?
like videos, and you're like, what the hell? I just want to play checkers.
Like, is that true? You have to go
It's
through a whole thing.
difficult to figure out how do you go from one to the next. Like I can't figure out how to select what players.
Well,
you actually got to
but
go.
that's you that you don't know
you
how
gotta
to
go
use
to
it. You have to learn how to
support.
use it.
This
Yeah.
was him.
Well,
like, he
you
had to
have
like
to-
look it up online.
Well, no, what you have to figure out is that you have to actually log into the game first, and then you can select multiplayer, how you
Oh,
want to.
So
I just
again, you
wanna
just have
play
to
a
figure out
game.
how to
Yeah,
use it.
there's a system that you have to. Every game console has a system. It's well worth it. It's well worth it.
So, okay, so the thing that I'm still trying to figure out, well, I know it, I already know the answer, but so you can play like Mario Kart tournaments on a TV with that thing,
Oh yes.
and 4 people can play at once.
Yes, and it has a dock and an HDMI slot.
And does it come with controllers and stuff, or how does that work?
Yeah,
Exactly?
it comes with controllers. These side controllers come off,
Okay.
so you can put.
Okay,
the,
so that would be one controller.
Yeah, I don't know how that. I think you play probably. I don't know how you do it, honestly.
Is there 2 more of those?
No, you just have these 2 controllers. We'll have to figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll have to figure it out while we're drunk.
Mario
on-
Kart tournaments are lit.
Yeah, I love Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
Giggity says, "Come on, Mrs. Monty, you don't play checkers on a Switch." We actually played some stuff last night. Giggity said, or I'm sorry, Homeless says 2 questions. Is that a real girl talking in the background? The voice sounds computerized as
Britt,
we
you need
never
to
see her
speak.
face.
You need to speak.
Are you kidding me?
No, she's real. Yes, Brandon.
Okay.
Paging. Hit her with these, and she might show you the young.
Hey, what's going on?
Okay.
I'm lost.
Bro, what are we talking about in
what
the comments right now, bro?
I'm so lost.
What are they
has
talking
happened,
about,
everybody?
dude?
Everybody's
Okay.
on Jake texting this girl.
Okay, what are they
So-
saying? What are they saying?
Wait, there's one more thing. I
Brandon
need-
Whiteside says Monty giving 1970s dating advice. Make sure you page her. Make sure to page her every second.
She's gonna miss the page though, because she's gonna be on her Walkman. We get it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one other thing to say
Yeah,
about
uh-huh.
the Switch.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, go ahead, look on the Nintendo store, see if you like any games, if there's anything you want to play. Honey. And so I'm looking for games that I would want to play.
Okay.
And I
Frogger.
find one, Cyanide and Happiness, if you know their comic strip, very funny, very twisted.
Right. Okay.
It's mature audiences. You
Right.
got to put your
Not
birth
kid
date
approved.
in, to be able to look at it, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And I show it to him, and he's like, "No way, absolutely not having that crap on my Switch." And I'm like, "What are you, my parent?
It's a $40
It's
game.
a $20 game.
No, it was $39.99 last.
How
I'm
much did
looking
Mario
at
Kart
it right
cost?
now.
Nothing. I got it as part of the package.
$19.99. But he was like, "No, we're
Nope.
we're not
Why
having
do
that.
you
Not
want
my
this game?
house."
Why do you want this game?
It looked funny.
Well, what's the game though? What's the premise? What do you?
She doesn't know.
The-
Oh, okay.
It's sort of similar to a South Park sort of a thing, where stupid things are happening. In this one, the guy's trying to get a prom date, and in between, all sorts of ridiculous scenarios happen. Stabs
Oh, kind of
someone
like
in
dating
the eye.
advice on this show.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Are we stabbing him in the eye?
You're being such an a-hole. Anyway, the point is,
So okay, so you got the Switch, and I agree. I thought that was a good move. That'll be fun while you're on the plane, and you'll be able to do a lot with that.
Eric C's sister says texting seems like the way to go.
Well, here's the thing: it's the only way to go because that's all people want to do.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Okay. She did ask you to send her pictures.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, in Hawaii. Yeah.
She did.
Yeah.
Ask you to send her pictures.
Yes.
Which is cool. I'm down
It's
with
fun.
that. All right. What was the other thing we were going to? Oh yeah, I'm not going to a store. I'm not doing it. It's packed. People are not wearing masks. I was in Costco on Saturday, like an idiot.
Yeah.
Nobody had on masks.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And it was wall to wall humanity.
Yeah.
And then we're in Best Buy last night. They don't have enough clerks there. There's
Did you do
merchandise
self-checkout?
all over the floor. You want to trip and fall over everything. No, the guy did me a solid. I didn't know you had to order the Mario Kart bundle online.
Ah.
And he's like, no, I'll just go pull one down, but you got to come over here to this register on the side where nobody can see us doing this.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. And so I
Very
checked
nice.
out. And then
Okay.
Mrs. Monty got a tripod for sunsets and Haleakala! And it'll be good.
Okay, yeah, good stuff.
I'm looking forward to going to Haleakala. It's been
Yeah, you should
5
be.
years since we've been here, 7 years.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should be.
So, but yeah, we're leaving for Hawaii. Like you're
Yeah,
leaving tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning.
Whoop, whoop.
Today's our last day at the Yelpatory for November.
So I still got to go to Target and get a toiletries bag because I didn't get to that yesterday. But I'm almost all the way packed.
Nice.
So yeah.
Nice. Okay, what shoes are you guys bringing to Hawaii? See, I asked the
So-
same question the other day.
I'll tweet this later today. I'm bringing Air. I don't know what to call them other than Air Max. They're a black Air Max. I'm also bringing an Air Max 90, and I'm going to travel in ones, Jordan ones. I just don't know which ones yet. I don't know if I'm going to do lows or mids or what. I haven't decided that yet. But
I think I'm going to bring honey. Are we bringing hiking boots on this trip? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to wear
I'm
my Air
gonna
Max.
bring my tennis shoes that I don't care if I screw them up.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna bring actual hiking boots. I'll just
I
wear
would
tennis
agree.
shoes that I can get muddy.
I'd agree.
By the way, one piece of advice, because I know we got to go. If you ever need a travel bag, go to Honda World. Amazing.
Honda
travel
World in West Jordan was
amazing,
awesome.
bro. Amazing,
Yes,
dude.
Honda World has great bags.
Yes.
While in Hawaii, if Jake and the girl don't swap conch shell and
Conch shells.
geoduck pics, then what are they doing? I agree. What's
Yeah.
a conch shell?
Conch shell is the big shell that they blow.
The big shell, so you can hear the ocean.
Okay. All right. Zelda Breath of the Wild is the only Switch game you need. Cuphead, fun game, Brandon Whiteside says.
I'm just saying, Breath of the Wild sounds like. I mean,
Zel-
that's
it's
like
Zelda.
That's
Zelda.
like
Zelda.
a hot breath
Yeah.
on your neck
Yeah,
from like
Zelda's-
a
Tell me you don't like
mountain
that.
man. And
No,
no,
tell
actually,
me you don't
it
like that.
probably has bad breath.
Three-fourths of this is inaccurate.
Spenmo says, but the vegan thing is a red flag in my opinion.
She's
Agreed.
not okay. She's not vegan. This is important. She's not vegan. She's vegetarian. Very different thing.
Spencer Morgan also says walk is a great first date. Lots of conversation, no cost, and you find out immediately she's not lazy or sedentary.
Boom.
Boom. Good point. Never thought of that. Snuka says, is she real? Go Hawks.
Yes, she's real. Yes.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Smash Bros is fun on the Switch. I'll try that. Have a great vacation, guys. Enjoy it. When you get back, BYU will be in the New Year's 6. Jeremy Bolton.
I swear to God.
No girl, none of us have chicks. By the way, this is the 80s, and I'm down with the ladies. I like it. I don't know who Home Space Les is, but Les, you have a place on our show.
Shout to Mobamba.
This is the 80s, and I'm down with the ladies. Hell yeah. And that's it. We're done for November.
Make sure that you find us on social media.
Yeah, because we're gonna do a
Please.
bunch of live sunsets. We're gonna do a
Please.
bunch of live video, live sessions.
We may not be on YouTube, but we will be on social media.
Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I am the Monty Show. Monty the Monty Show. Jake is SLC Supercars.
Mhm.
Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And it'll be all there. You guys gonna try and work out over there? Jeremy Bolton says yes, absolutely.
Well, here's the thing with Hawaii, though. I mean, you're doing a lot. Like you're hiking, snorkeling. You know, you're
There
out
is a
on
gym there.
boats. But there is a gym there. Yeah.
See, my wife keeps talking even after she put the microphone down. But there is a gym there.
They have Pelotons at the gym at the West End.
Yeah, but I don't use those.
I will
Fat.
be riding, and we'll be working out.
You're damn right you're going to be riding. Anyway, all right. So make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and
Come
TikTok.
on.
The Monty Show. Monty The Monty Show. SLC Supercars. Snuka says make a stop at Leonard's Bakery. Hell yeah. Have a great time. Ramiro says peace out until December 6th. Say goodbye, honey.
Goodbye, honey.